What's up, guys? I'm Benji,
And I'm Miles.
and you're tuned in to The Proper Fit.
Okay, so our topic for this episode is the future gym.
We're also going to be bringing you our tune of the time that we're enjoying right now.
We've got a new section, a fitness giveaway. We've got information that's going to change your life.
I'm also going to bring you the normal Uncle Benj section where you get to ask me absolutely anything. Doesn't have to be fitness related, can just be a scenario, and I'll do my best to give you some advice around that topic.
Oh boy. And to finish off, we'll give you guys our proper fit tip for this episode, our PFT.
Awesome. So let's get into it. You're tuned into The Proper Fit.
So Benji, it's a bit of a crazy time. Obviously, as we all know, lockdown's still going ahead. We both work in the fitness industry. Both work in gyms. You have your own gym, and I've just been thinking recently about what the gym experience is going to look like after lockdown. That I think there's going to be a few things that are a little bit different. And I know that we've spoken previously about this. Just wanted to maybe pick your brain about some of the things you're thinking.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, this time that we're experiencing is just unprecedented, So everything that's coming right now, everything that's gone over the last sort of 8 weeks is just a completely new experience for everybody,
Yeah.
us included. And so I think going forward, I think it's difficult to really kind of drill down to the facts about how gyms are going to look and what things we need to come to expect.
Sure.
But I guess there's a couple of things and ideas that we can sort of talk around really that might be interesting concepts for people to think about going forwards. I guess the biggest thing is that we've got some law, some legislation, some guidance right now around maintaining safety and reducing the risk of infection.
Sure.
And those things are generally around general hygiene, like washing hands regularly, washing as if people needed to be told to do that, wearing face
You'd be
masks.
surprised.
I'm learning. I'm learning every day.
Yeah.
But yeah, wash people. But yeah, wearing face masks, for example, on public transport. And I know that the same sentiment is being thought about with regards to supermarkets too.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are the things that we know that are here right now. And if you apply a little common sense to those things, it suggests that in gyms, we need to be seeing more hand sanitizer. We need to be seeing more cleanliness and hygiene practiced. If you're expected to go onto a bus and be in close proximity with other people and wear a face mask, well, then it kind of suggests that maybe there are measures similar that might be put in place or need to be put in place to ensure that working out at a gym is safe.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that many gyms already are starting to put measures in place like removing apparatus or say cordoning off treadmills so that they can maintain the 2 meters apart distance.
Yeah.
And of course, this negatively affects gyms because it affects the amount of people that they can have coming through the doors at any given time. Things like spin sessions, where places might have 30 bikes in a room.
Well,
they're going to have to halve that.
I think that's going to change the dynamic of classes altogether. How can you normally have a class that's sellout with, as you said, 30 bikes in the room. And now you've got to try and sell to that instructor to come back into the gym and say, hey, you're going to have less people in your class, but can you come and do it anyway? Can you...
And the risk to the instructors as well. I think this is one of the things that people overlook.
Yeah.
If, I could see, potentially, I don't know, maybe 200 different people over the course of 1 week. So the risk to me as an instructor, these are all the things that we need to sort of start considering and looking into. And I guess one of the things is that the pandemic in itself has caused all of us to think differently about many things.
Yeah.
You know, people would have never envisaged watching a film with somebody else online when they weren't together. People would never have envisaged doing a quiz over something like Zoom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most people, I have to admit, myself included, were never really invested in the thought and the idea of delivering classes online
Hmm.
because I had the ability to do it physically.
Physically. Yeah.
And now, as some of those things are being stripped from us, they say necessity is the
Mm.
mother of invention.
Okay.
So we're now in a place where we all want to work out.
Yeah.
That's necessary. And so it's invented lots of new ways to achieve that.
Mm.
I can speak specifically with regards to my club. You know, the online services have been the absolute lifeline of my club and have been a massive part of everybody's life that's a member
Yeah.
in my club. You
Mm.
know, we're seeing each other almost every day. They're working out. They're either achieving new goals for the new people that have come on board,
Mm.
um, or they're maintaining, you know, their progress.
Yeah.
Now it takes a lot. It takes a lot from the individual. You've got to be dedicated. You've got to roll out your bed and switch on a screen, which
Yeah.
isn't that hard, but but you've still got to do that. Um, then we had things like the My Zone belts, for example, which help give you just that sense of accountability to someone else in terms of how hard you're working and help maintain the consistency in your workout so that you're working at a level that's appropriate to maintain your results
Yeah.
or achieve even greater results. So I guess it's a combination of all of those things that make this online experience now really, really good and really something that people can get their teeth into as an alternative to what unfortunately the government and new legislation
Mm. Mm.
has and will for the future alter.
It's kind of a testament to what we spoken about in a previous episode where we
Yeah,
were talking about what your goals could be looking like or should be looking like at this time,
yeah,
because we're normally very focused on, lifting a certain amount of weight, or
mm,
think things that are only apply in a gym setting that we literally just cannot do at the moment.
yeah,
And it just goes back to the it goes back to the idea of looking at other ways that you can monitor your progress. So
yeah,
of course you can look at clothes that are normally a little bit too tight if you're trying to lose some
yeah,
weight. If they're looser, fantastic. But yeah, things like the MyZone belt, if you can then monitor things like your calories coming in, calories being expended during exercise, you're
totally.
onto a winner. Because I think that's probably one of the most powerful ways of actually monitoring your progress. If you can see what your body is doing at different points, um, you've given yourself a really big advantage in the long run, because now you can
Yeah,
see what's actually happening to allow you to reach your goal, if that
yeah,
makes
totally.
sense. You know.
How it feels, you know, how it feels to be
Exactly.
in that red zone, how
Yeah.
it feels to be working at a 9 or 10 on that rate of perceived exertion.
It
All of
opens your
those
mind
things
to
are
it. That's it.
really
Opens your eyes
totally.
to it.
They're all really valuable bits of data and information that are
Mm.
going to help improve your workouts going forward. So, yeah, I think, you know, to conclude, we've got to wait and see, you know, completely how gyms will look in the
Yes.
future.
Yeah.
But I'm certain that online workouts are going to be something that are sort of here to stay
Yeah.
and something that every trainer needs to be creative around to make sure that we can deliver the most outstanding service
Mm.
and education to our clients and people so that they can still achieve their goals and achieve amazing results
Sure.
even with these new set of parameters.
Sure.
And I guess one of the big things that's really important is getting the music right whilst you're working out at home. Now, of course, if you go to our website, coreattackfitness.com/sounds, you'll be able to hear all of our podcast episodes, but also there's a couple of mixes on there to accompany your workouts, all for free if you want to listen to those. As you know, Miles and I are big fans of music.
Big, big.
And so we have our tune of the time section in each episode. And this episode is a tune called Friend. It's Zed Bias featuring Children of Zeus, and this is the original two-step remix.
Try to do you wrong, then you got a friend. Someone you know you can depend on. Somebody's worth the time. Yeah, you can say they never try to do you wrong. When there's
Woo! I love that tune, man. I love that
Clean,
tune.
clean little
That should be
two-step
like
beat.
the personal trainer's anthem. Like the breakdown. It's like, if you got a friend.
Vocals.
Someone who
Wait.
you know you can depend on.
Okay.
That's how you should break it down. Like when people, why should I get a personal trainer?
Well, I'm trying to lose a lot of weight. I'm going on holiday, and I'm just thinking, what do you think I need?
Well, if you got a friend.
I would love to see that. They're just sitting there like, okay.
We move on to a section which is normally Fitness Whispers.
Love that.
We've gone one bigger. We've gone one better for this episode. What's it called, Miles?
It's called Fitness Giveaway.
We're going to go an extra mile, and we're going to try and bring you some experts or some expertise in areas that might not specifically be about fitness goals, but are related to fitness and improving your fitness lifestyle on the whole. We've got an interview with an award-winning hairdresser, and she's going to talk to us about how you ladies can take care of your hair if you're someone that engages regularly in exercise. As you'll know, this is a big problem. Not so much for the likes of me and Miles, but for you ladies, certainly. So, hi, Darcey.
Hello, Benji. How are you?
I'm good, man. So, guys, for those of you listening, I'm going to let Darcey tell you a little bit. In fact, no, I'm going to start by saying that this is an award-winning hairdresser, guys, because she's not going to big herself up, so I'm going to do it. She's an award-winning hairdresser. She knows what she's talking about. And above all, she's fantastic at what she does. So Darcey's got sort of 5 tips to bring to you guys on how we can keep our hair healthier. Right, Darcey?
Yes, that is exactly what I have for you today. We haven't been able to see everyone in salons, and the situation's been a bit crap for everyone. And I know a lot of you are getting frustrated. So I thought I'd spend my time wisely and help a lot of you out at home. So when you're prepared to go back to the salon and back to the gym, and also helping your hair while you're at home, these are just a few tips that are going to be able to help you guys out. So first one, probably one of the most important ones that I would stand on a soapbox and preach about all day, is do not wash your hair every day. And I know for you guys that go to the gym, it is the worst feeling in the world that have sweaty hair after you've just maxed out in a HIIT session. And I know Benji pushes you really hard, so you're going to be super sweaty. But as tempting as it is, you can't wash it every day, purely because when your hair is greasy, what that is natural oils trying to moisturize and nourish your scalp. Now, if you're washing your hair every day, you're washing those oils straight out, and they aren't having time to work and saturate into your hair. And I think probably washing your hair more than once every 3 days, it's doing more damage than you actually realize. You don't want a dry scalp. No one wants dandruff. It's not a good look. So before you do go and have a session, my advice would be get some dry shampoo and put it all into your scalp, work it in, brush it in really nicely. This will absorb sweat during your workout. So you're not washing those natural oils out, but you don't feel like you've got a greasy, horrible scalp.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah. I mean, I know it annoys me when I have sweaty hair, let alone everyone else wants to work out every day.
I mean, I haven't got much hair and it annoys me. So, yeah, I get it.
Exactly. You're not too bad, Ben.
You're just being polite. Stop lying. My clients aren't as nice as you. Give us another one.
So what I'd say secondly is do not wear your hair in a tight ponytail all the time. Now, what I mean by this is obviously you ladies, when you go to the gym, you've probably got a hairstyle that you just jump to that takes you 30 seconds, that you feel comfortable with, and is not going to get in your eyes. However, when you tie your hair in a bubble or a bun, what the fabric bubbles use that most people use, they have fibers on them. Now, if you have a tight ponytail that's scraping your hair back so it doesn't go in your eyes, those fibers, as you move throughout your workout, they rub against your hair. And when you move, this causes friction and eventually ending in weak and broken hair. Now, this isn't a good look for anyone. I know none of you want weak or broken hair. So my advice to combat this would be try a different style, change it up. Any different style that you fancy. My go-to would be either a plait, so like a French plait, a Dutch plait, that gets all the baby hairs and the loose hairs out your face, or alternatively a sweatband or a headband to just really push it back and keep that hair off your face.
We've also got some videos that Darcey's put together that you'll be able to find on the sounds page. Just a quick tutorial of how to do some of those hairstyles that she's talking about.
Yeah, definitely go check those out. Right, so my third tip would be invest in a good quality clarifying shampoo. Now, what I mean by clarifying shampoo is it's going to give your hair the deep clean that it needs, getting rid of your bad and nasties, all the horrible sweaty stuff that you don't want to keep in there, the bad bacteria, without getting rid of your hair's natural oils. My recommendation for this product would be a Unite, it's called, the brand, and then the shampoo is called Weekender Clarifying Shampoo. Now, this is a brand that I first used when I started hairdressing, and oh my God, it is revolutionary. The smell that comes out of these products, you will be addicted. And everything in there is natural, so there is no nasties, no testing on animals or anything like that, which is obviously great too.
Okay.
So, number 4 for you guys, I'd say stop using hair ties made from fabrics altogether. Instead, you need to get yourself a hair tie called an Invisibobble. Now, some of you may have seen these. They're a spiral-shaped hair tie made from like a silicone plasticky type of material that will save you from any kinks,
I've seen
breakage. Yeah, they're great, aren't they? I use them all the time. But they give you a nice voluminous ponytail rather than being too flat too, which you guys all love. This will save you from any kinks, breakage, or split ends, as their shape places an uneven pressure around your hair to keep it in place. Now, that will save you from what I just said before about the breakage and the split ends and everything like that, which you guys don't want. So my last tip for you guys would be some hair accessories for the gym. So if you feel like you've had a bit of a boring hairstyle for a couple of years now when you've been going to the gym, you want to change it up a bit. So I'd say a silk hair scrunchie would be great. Now, bringing back a 90s vibe for you guys a little bit, but scrunchies are really in right now. And they come in all different colors. So any of you that have got any color specifications, there's one for you out there. Now, the silk is a kind on your hair, avoiding any potential friction like the fabric. When you move, that could obviously lead to broken hair, like I said before. Another one would be a headband. A quick and easy style, great for ladies with shorter hair that struggle to tie their hair back, and ladies with fringes. So you can just pop it in, literally takes you under 10 seconds, and that will be great for you guys. And again, coming back to the Invisibobble, I love these. And like I said before, they will stop any breakage or split ends that you guys may worry about.
Fab. So awesome. I guess those tips apply to any type of hair, right? European, Afro-Caribbean hair.
Definitely. I mean, some more than others. Obviously, if you're from Asian descent or have got Afro type hair, you'll know that you've got naturally drier hair anyway. So a bobble that's a hair tie with the fabric, like I said before, is just not a no-go for you guys. I'd just stick with the Invisibobble. I could literally stand here and tell you about them all day, but I don't want to bore you guys. But definitely go check them out. They're super cheap. You can buy them in bulk. You don't lose them as much because everyone's like, oh, what are these spiral-looking things? Rather than picking them up and nicking them.
Awesome. Thank you. Wicked. So cheers for coming on the show, Darce. Don't forget, guys, check out those videos on our sounds page. And yeah, hopefully we'll have Darcey back to give us more tips on healthy hair in the future. Thank you very much, Darcey.
Thank you for having me on, Benji.
You're welcome. Take care. So that moves us on nicely, Miles. Where are we at?
Oh boy. It's the most important. No, that's a lie. Let me change that. It's not the most important. It is the light-hearted section that we all wait for every single episode. It's time for Uncle Benj. We need some wisdom.
Okay.
We need some wisdom.
I'm ready. I'm listening. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. So she's female. She doesn't include her age or anything else, but she's female.
Cool.
Here it goes. So I'm single. Lockdown has been long and tough, and I want to get into dating once this is all over. I'm really anxious about how dating in the near future will look like. I'm really worried that with distancing, I won't be able to do some of the things that I would like to do early on to figure out if we're compatible sexually and mentally.
Oh, okay.
What should I do?
Okay. Very she's straight. She said
Straight
what she
up.
meant to.
Listen,
So
this is
thank
why
you.
it's an anonymous section. Straight up.
There you go.
You got
There you go.
issues?
Thank you for that.
Spill them. Spill them.
Spill 'em, man. No, thank you. Okay, cool. So I guess things are gonna significantly change. We started the show talking about distancing measures.
Yes.
And Miles, you were talking about a gym that you saw that had some special distancing measures put in place
I
across
mean,
treadmills.
yeah, which is kind of crazy. Like I saw a video on social media the other day of this gym in, I think it was South Korea.
Okay.
So a country around that region, probably was South Korea. And you've got this guy on a treadmill and he's doing his workout as he normally does. Did he have a mask on? I don't think he had a mask on. Yeah,
Okay.
let's say he didn't have a mask on. But
Okay.
what was in place between every single treadmill was a huge plastic sheet or kind of wall separating each treadmill so that, the social distancing is still in place. So, Benji, what are you proposing? That she has a plastic wall in front of her when she goes on the deck?
I'm just saying, just as the way gym experiences are going to change,
Yeah.
we need to be open to like anything changing pretty significantly. All right. So, imagine I don't know, going to a restaurant or, going just out for a Nando's or something.
Yeah.
But are we going to have like boards placed in between us? Like, what are we going to do?
Well, I'll tell you what, on Nando's, hey, that's going to be completely different. Like, there's no way you can go up and get how many different knives and forks for the whole table and grab a bunch
your
of
hand
napkins
in one pot
That's
and
what
just
I'm saying.
like, come on, like all of these people haven't been washing their hands,
Exactly.
and then they walk into Nando's and they touch like 10 different forks.
And
That's
you know
your
for a fact, 1 out of every 5 person that goes and touches that has probably done some nasty stuff before that, like lick their
wash their
fingers. Do you know what I mean?
Man.
Licking
Their
their
nose.
fingers.
Come on.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna change.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm happy. Do you know what? I'm happy it's changing. Even thinking about it now, because
I'll let you into a secret. I'm a little bit OCD, right? So like that stuff freaked me out anyway. So like I'm pro this. I'm one of those people in the background going, oh yeah, it's a shame things are gonna change. Hell no, I'm looking forward to it. Are you crazy? Like
secretly, you're like, oh thank God, it's about time.
But yeah, sorry, back to being sensible. Things are gonna change significantly. The wise Uncle Benj would actually say, this is quite a good time. This is a time to really reflect, as if Uncle Benj was a little bit older, Uncle Benj would recall a time where, people used to develop relationships over long periods of time.
Oh,
They started with friendships.
Preach, sir,
and
preach.
Chivalry.
He had a voice change, That's some serious talk.
Yeah, serious. And people wouldn't develop any form of sexual relationship until they were married.
Wow.
So there's a time gone by where that was what we were made of. That was the social fabric that we're accustomed to.
Hey, I'm just putting it out there.
Being a part of.
I'm just putting it out there. You can kind of see why people got married a lot younger now. Back in the day.
But you know what? People stayed together longer in those times as well.
True.
And whilst this isn't like Ricky Lake or Jeremy Kyle. To be fair, I don't think Jeremy Kyle ever kept any relationships together, but still. Whilst this isn't a relationship counselling show, there are like some things that we did in the past that we have to reflect on and say maybe they did do something to help construct long-lasting relationships, as opposed to the instant swipe left or right. I don't know which way you go, but as opposed to that instant kind of thing of, yeah, I like the look of that person, bang, let's go for a date.
Yeah.
And then other things very quickly ensuing, following. So there are some things that we need to look back at. There's an expression, respice, prospice, which means look backwards, look forwards.
Okay.
So you almost look back into your past to see the things that you've done well, and you use them to shape the way your future looks. So I think there's a little bit of that. Without being too philosophical, though, like use it, like really get to know this guy and test him.
Beautiful.
You know, like
Beautiful.
you're gonna find out. I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of criticism from guys here. Benji, what are you saying? Are you doing? Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, but oh no, but yeah, both from both perspectives. Like, test these people out, find out whether you really like them before you get to that physical attraction bit, and maybe see if we can return to a time where the physical attraction evolves based on someone's soul or what you think of them as a person, and that might be better. The other thing I'd say is taking my Uncle Benji head off. Now,
yes, I was waiting. Yeah, he's back.
The Uncle Benj and Ratchet Bench. So this is Ratchet Bench. Ratchet Bench says, Miles and I are both personal trainers.
Yes.
And we specialize in building better butts for Britain.
All right? Hell yeah.
So
butts for Britain. Say that fast. Better butts for Britain.
Better butts for Britain.
Triple B. Yeah. Triple B's.
So it's really important, ladies, if you're going to have to be like adhering to these social distancing measures on dates, it's likely that you're going to be walking 2 meters apart. So if you're walking in front and you're 2 meters apart, you can't have a saggy backside.
Okay.
Your backside's got to be on point. So this is where you get in touch with Miles, with myself, and get yourself built in a nice little butt. Let's work on it. We've got our abs and ass session. We've got booty shock. Like, you need to be there. You need to be training with someone that can give you the butt that's going to seal that deal on that social distancing date. You don't want to be walking in front of him and him thinking, not quite what I want. Like, sell it.
Listen,
yeah?
Keep that butt nice and big, all right, round and supple, and keep your waist snatched. So make sure you're doing your core exercises, do your ab exercises, yeah? Core conditioning classes that we also offer. Just put that out there.
So that moves us on quite nicely, actually, to our proper fit tip. Let me give you that drum roll.
Hey, wait, do you know what? Before we do the drum roll, who's Ricky Lake?
Okay. Oh, Miles! When were you born?
After you. Just put it like that.
Ricky Lake is.
You said Jeremy Kyle. I was like, yeah, I know Mr. Kyle. I mean,
so like Jeremy Kyle is like the really awful version of his forefathers. Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer.
Oh yeah, I know.
Do you remember Jerry Springer?
Jerry.
Yeah, exactly. Do you remember Trisha?
Yeah, she comes black British lady, right?
She looked like Denise out of EastEnders.
Yeah.
She used to have a show, Trisha, and that was basically the British version of Ricky Lake. Okay. It was a show in the same format as Jerry Springer, Jeremy Kyle, where they try and resolve people's issues, but presented by a woman. It was pretty revolutionary back then. Okay. But yeah, it's a fantastic show. Ricky Lake. If any of the listeners remember Ricky Rake. If any of them remember Ricky Lake, get in touch. Let me know.
My girl like Licky, yes.
Yeah, I guess that would be like my personal advice. I think it's important, isn't it, to give you some of the science around it. And as Miles alluded to, some of the things that maybe we've seen in South Korea in gyms, for example, there are, of course, like things which are published to tell us the ways in which we should behave in and things that we can do to avoid the risk. Sure. I mean, I've got a couple here relating to this girl's scenario with the bit about the physical stuff. I mean, it says here, this is avert.org, but this is on I think it's on the Glaswegian NHS.
Oh, mad.
But it says, if you have sex with someone you don't live with, which, by the way, is illegal. So this is a little bit hard. But yeah, if you listen to the episode before this, you'll know that that's illegal right now. But here's the guidance around how to be safe if you happen to not know that that's illegal.
Right.
There's a few things you can do to lower the risk and the spread of COVID-19. avoid kissing or exchanging saliva with anybody outside of your household.
Okay, that's a given.
Yeah. Avoid what? Avoid sexual activities which include licking around the anus.
Whoa!
I'm just gonna. Yeah, I'm not
No way.
Avert.org. It's right there. I'm not joking. It's right there. Serious.
Wait, hold on. Nah. Do you know what? Wait. I got to stop that
honestly,
right now. Yeah,
I'm serious.
You got two episodes. There's 2 episodes in a row where you got something mad that's got me thinking. Is this the world that we're living in? Like, how have they actually published this?
I'm telling you. I'll post it. It says. I'm telling you.
Yo.
Honestly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. Use condoms or dental dams to reduce contact with saliva or poo.
What's that? Dental dam. What is it? What's a dental dam?
Just to keep a straight face.
I'm searching it up right now. I'm lost. A dental dam.
Dental dams, like a.
I've just seen it. No. Oh wait, no. If you see the picture I'm seeing, right, this woman's got some huge blue, like some huge blue plastic sheet around her mouth. She looks like she's eating loads of bubble gum, and it's just like stuck around her mouth. That's horrendous.
Get them in.
That's not
whoever sent in the scenario. Also, just a few other things. It says if you use toys, then wash them thoroughly with soap and water. And the key thing here is do not share them. I'm not sure who quite needed that guidance.
You shouldn't be doing that in the first place.
Okay. It also encourages. Limit your physical interactions by reducing the number of sexual partners you have overall.
I prefer not to speak. This is all dangerous territory right now.
And or at the same time.
Wow.
Who's this written for?
I don't know.
Here's a key one. Take a shower and wash your hands and body thoroughly with soap before and after sex.
No, what?
When was that thing?
No, these people are lost, man. No, I'm out.
When was that thing?
Ew. That's all I can say. Ew.
Oh,
just clean yourself. And this dental dam is hilarious. I think I just need to buy one just because it's funny. Nah, seriously, it's mad.
The final one, which actually backs up what I've said, is and this is genuine. This is written here. It says, consider sexual arousal techniques that don't involve physical contact, like talking. Which I think is probably where we'll round off for this section. Thank you for that scenario. You've got us in a lot of trouble in this episode. Cheers. Thank you. That leads us in nicely to our proper fit tip for this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Miles,
what? I can't get over it. If you see this, what it looks like. Oh my god! Sorry, go on.
I mean, the proper fit tip for this week, Miles. Let me give you a drum roll, though.
Okay,
first.
Give it to me. Let's do it.
Is
mind over muscle.
Jeez. Okay, mind over muscle. And what does that mean, Miles? What does it mean?
Let me explain. So, this thing called mind-muscle connection. I think some people don't believe in it. A lot of people do. At the end of the day, it is a real thing. So mind-muscle connection is the ability to get your muscles to basically connect with your brain. So your brain is telling your body what to do. And if you can use that to your advantage, if you can improve that connection, you actually result in a stronger contraction when you're working out, when you're going through different exercises. And if you have a stronger contraction, that means that the ability to gain muscle, gain strength is now heightened because you're able to do more. You're able to actually get more from every single rep that you do. Yeah. So the power of this mind muscle connection can sometimes be really underutilized, but it can be instrumental in your progress.
Especially right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. So that's literally the point. Like we may have resistance bands,
Yeah,
but more often than not, we've either got household objects or just our body
yeah,
weight.
definitely.
And in all of those kind of modalities, you're going to need to focus more on what your body's doing, because it's different. It's just different to lifting weight, and that's fine.
I guess we're doing that. When we talk about the core conditioning session that we do, and that visualization, and then particularly the attack session, which is a martial arts session,
Sure.
we're not using weights. But if you hear people talk about the effect on their body overall,
Mm.
it's as significant as the way they would feel if they used really heavy weights. The
Mm-hmm.
difference is you've minimized the risk of injury
Mm-hmm.
because you are using your body weight, and you've accelerated the growth and strength within your body, because it is your body that you're learning to control.
Sure.
Unlike, very much like the things you spoke about at the sort of top of the show, in terms of tracking and in terms of understanding what your body is doing at any given time, how it feels to be put under a progressive load, or how it feels to be under tension or a contraction.
Yeah.
Those things are vital. And I guess those are just some of the ways that we've seen over this period that people have actually been employing this muscle mind connection
Mm.
to make sure that they maintain and sustain the results that they had before, which most of us thought we could only achieve if we could walk into that room called a gym and throw some weight around.
Yep.
And I guess this time has taught us anything but.
And do
So,
you know what? Do you know what? That's a really good it's a really good phrase you just used there. Throwing the weight around, because that's exactly what a lot of people are doing,
yeah,
and they're not focusing on what their body is actually doing. So
yeah,
this time that they have right now is probably a little bit better, because now they can't throw any weight around.
yeah,
They have to control their body. They have to control whichever weight they're using, their body weight, the resistance band. If you don't control the resistance band, that thing is going to slingshot you back into
yeah,
into a
exactly.
resting position. You have to control it down. It's as simple
Yeah,
as that. So yeah,
totally.
man,
Well put.
don't
Well
throw the
put.
weight around.
There we go. Mind over muscle. So, guys, that concludes the end of a very funny show. So, if you found it as funny as us, or if you haven't found it funny at all, then you can get in touch with us by emailing us at theproperfitpodcast@gmail.com, or
You can also hit us up on social media, on Instagram at the account Core Attack, spelled CoreAttack.
awesome. So, all that remains to say is that I'm Benji,
And I'm Miles.
and you've been tuned in to The Proper Fit.